Louisiana versus all y'all. Jarrett Roser here with a notable 2025 prospect in Louisiana for folks to know. Carlos Pop O'Brien, standout, I'd say receiver prospect in 2025, but a guy that has been versatile throughout his high school career and now getting ready for his senior season over at OC Como out there in the Lafayette area. We're going to talk a lot more about that versatility that he's expecting this fall in his final high school season and the journey to get to this point too, because it's been particularly this off season has been a little bit of a journey with some, some adversity to work through and everything. And so we'll talk a little bit about that as well. But Pop, man, I feel like we've talked about this for a little while now, and I'm excited we're getting a chance to do it.
Yes, sir,
Appreciate
man. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, my pleasure. And let's jump into it. I mean, last we saw you in a public way on the football field, you had started kind of clicking a little bit in that state championship game for LCA, had 3 catches for 37 yards, were creating a lot of separation, and things were starting to come together for y'all offensively. And then
Right.
you go down on that sideline and are trying to figure out the injury dynamic, have to get carted off and everything. Let's just start in that moment. What you're thinking, what the emotions are like. I know, texting with dad as this is all happening, he's saying you're just trying to get back out there, and they're like,
Right.
whoa, we need to be cautious with this, man. What's going on for you in that moment, and how tough was that for you to kind of realize the severity of it at that point?
I feel like okay. I knew it. I heard it snap, and it felt jammed, but I kind of didn't feel like how it looked. I didn't think it was like man, the way it was looking. So I looked at it, and like the first thing I did was I looked at my teammate, and like as we under the pile, I'm like I think my leg broke, and he kind of seen it, and it's like he just went into shock. And the first thing I did, it's my leg, but like I was like, dang, is my leg really like? It's looking like this, but I was like, just stay calm, just relax. And it's like, soon as I looked to the STM sideline, it's like I could see like on their face how their froze up too. So I just had to stay calm, and I was like, God, like it's a sign. Like what's up? Like what's up? So the thing I did, I looked at the ceiling, and as they rushed over, like the first trainer, I seen it was snap. So the first thing he asked, he was like, "Do you want me to cut your shoelaces?" I was like, "Nah, I'm gonna need them cleats. I'm gonna need them cleats." So I was like, "If you got to, man, just pull the shoe off." So he did, and like I was a little worried, but like he held me, like I held on to him, and it was like a little squeeze, and then he snapped it right back in place, and it was just feeling normal, like the blood flow, but I could have feel it like getting heavy as if it was gonna swell. So I was like, man, let's just wrap it up. Wrap it up. Let's get back in the game. We should be fine. Like, but then he was showing me like when every time he would let it go, it was like slowly dislocating. So the first thing I asked was like, when is therapy? When can we set it up? Who is the best therapist y'all know? So they sent me to Unlock, and with Mr. Carey, he really got me right. We did a lot of training, and the things he was just showing me, I just kind of took it and did it on my own. I mean, I was just ducked off, just doing what he showed me, and then I met Gary and AB up in New Orleans with Harlem, hooked me up with them, and I knew they helped with injuries too. So I was also with them, and they pretty much helped me too. And I just kind of took everything I learned from them and just ran with it, and I just had to pray because when they gave me a month off of school, man, it was kind of getting depressing. Like I was depressed, and I was like, dang, I can't be on the field for a while. I couldn't do a lot of things I wanted to do, but I was like, I got to make the most out of my situation. Like, it's a reason God set me on. That's how I was kind of looking at it. But I can't let it set me back. That's just was my mindset. Just stay in the house and just do therapy and just, work my way back up, keep praying. And it's little stuff like that. And now I'm back and I'm ready, you know.
Yeah, it was crazy hearing from dad saying that you were telling him, no, hold on, we're gonna have to tape this back up. I got to get out there and play the second half
Yeah,
because I
man. It felt
when it
good. I
happened,
mean,
I was in shock. I was kind of like on the sideline, just trying to like handle my emotions of the situation, and everything I
mhm.
heard from you was you were ready to get back out there. And I know talking to dad in the weeks after that, he mentioned as much as your family was trying to be there for you, that there were a lot of points where your positivity and your maturity in the situation helped them feel better about it.
Right. I could have seen it on a lot of like their faces, like when they carted me off, it's like I could have just see everybody that just looked at worried. And I'm like, why y'all look so worried? Like, I'm good. I was like, I guarantee I'm gonna be good because I know the work I'm gonna put in. Just tell me what I gotta do to shake back, and I'm gonna do it. Like, I'm gonna do it. It's just,
Where Yeah, I mean, where do you feel like that that like internal peace or that mentality, that maturity, that confidence, that optimism, where does that all come from for you? You mentioned, I mean, I think you mentioned God there. I'm sure your family being there with you throughout everything was huge too. But when you look at what foundation and what support system and everything allowed you to handle all of this the way you handled it and just be proactive and I'm going to do what I can do and I'm going to be back out there and it's going to be good. How do you kind of attribute where all of that strength came from?
I can honestly just say, I always said I know what I'm signing up for, so I know what comes with it. But I just felt like, I feel like God, He put us on this earth, and He give us certain people. He just, I don't know, He just give them their battles. I just feel like He put, I feel like God put me on this earth to do what I do. So I know what comes with it, and I just know I'm built for it. I know what comes with it. Injuries, it happens, and I just had to stay positive because I had to be the one. I know it was my injury, and I could just see like the face expressions of other people, and I just had to let them know like I'm good. Cause if they see me down, I knew it was gonna keep them down. But I knew in the back of my mind like I'm gonna go duck off and I'm gonna go do this therapy, hours and hours and hours and hours. And it's okay that this like the things I wanted to do besides like outside of football, running track and just, strengthening my weaknesses, it couldn't. I just like it's like I had to take a break off it, but I was like, I'm not gonna let it stop me. As soon as I shake back, it's go time. So everything I said I was gonna do, I basically did it. Really.
As we got to the point this summer where I mean you're fully cleared and everything, talk me through that process and just your excitement to see it getting close and then to be back to where now we're talking about you working through fall camp, getting ready for scrimmage week and all that, to work through everything you work through and now be back doing what you love and getting ready to kick off
Mm.
senior season. Kind of share me through some of those benchmarks and the excitement to get through it all.
It was definitely mixed emotions because I knew I was definitely excited because I knew kind of my role was going to be, but I knew the obstacles I was going to have to, face because by the time I came back, we had about 2 to 3 more months until we at this moment into the season finna start. So I knew chemistry and going to a new program and the things that Como been through, trying to build that up within me, knowing the programs I didn't came from and taking what I know and bringing it to those programs. I knew my summer was going to be pretty busy because I had missed a lot. I missed so much. I had to make sure my body was back where it was. I had to start just getting used to just playing football again. I took like a 5 to 6 month break and I had to, get back in shape. It's like it just happened at one time, but I felt like it was just God's timing. Like I had to make sure I build chemistry. It was just so much and it felt like it was just every day and it was going so fast. Like I gotta build chemistry. I gotta learn the playbook. I gotta, it's like it just sometimes I would get down, but I knew like the outcome, like it's gonna be worth it. So, and my people was in it with me. My dad, my auntie Kirsten, my coach Newsom, Coach Landry, a lot of those guys, Coach Woods, Coach Jeremy, a lot of my teammates too. They, as I met them, they laughed, just kept me going. And when we got on the field, I pushed them to keep going and just learning the plays and just building chemistry and still having to maintain to go to New Orleans and still get the training that I need. It was a lot, but I feel like it was worth it. It was worth it up to this moment because now I'm ready and now the team's ready. And now that my role, I'm going to be playing everywhere, quarterback, running back, receiver. I like my role on the team.
Yeah, let's talk. Let's get right into that because I know that was something else that we were both looking forward to talking about. We watched you. I mean, at different points earlier in your high school career, you were a two-way guy that we saw some of those early highlights as an underclassman playing both sides of the ball. I saw you primarily as a receiver this past year, but I know you're really excited to have an opportunity to do an awful lot on the field this fall. What has it been like to have them talk to you, the coaching staff talk to you about, hey, we think there are opportunities for you not just as a receiver, but to do all of these different things. And how excited are you to be able to play that sort of a role for this team?
No, most definitely. Like I'm definitely excited for it because it shows how versatile I can be. And I was kind of surprised myself because I know I played quarterback before when I was much younger, but it just, I thought Coach Landry, man, I thought he was just over exaggerating. I thought he was just saying that because it just took a couple little throws. He was like, "Yeah, you got it, you got it." So man, I was like, man, I don't know. So then as weeks go by and he just repping with me, and it's like, man, I see my arm is getting better. And then the offense he's gonna have me into where, if it ain't there, I can take off and go. It's gonna be a problem. So I didn't think I was surprised myself. Like I didn't think my arm was gonna be just as accurate. I was laughing. I'm like, I don't know, man, but I'm a football player. I know I can do it, but it might take some work. But it's really just I don't really know. Like it just it's not always consistent, but my throws get there. I didn't think I could have. I'd be throwing it 50 yards down the field. It's like I don't know, and then I go at my position the next two plays. Some practice, it just it takes to be versatile. I feel college coaches I'd rather see that than just to see you at one spot on the field, having me all over the field. And I know I can do it. I'm up for the challenge. I've been doing it for a long time. I just always told Coach Landry, just put me in position to know what I'm gonna be doing. And it's not that easy, As a quarterback, I have to know X, Y, and Z, knowing where everybody at on the field. And that's kind of the thing we struggle with at first, but we picked up on it. Coach Landry makes me comfortable in the system, so yeah, it's like it's really gonna work. I didn't think I was gonna be able to do it, but I guess I surprised myself.
Do you remember a day where it clicked? I mean, it might have been what you were just talking about, where just the confidence that coach had in you gave you that confidence in yourself to play a position you hadn't played in years. But as this fall camp went on, do you remember when it started clicking, whether it be your handle on the offense or like you were talking about, not only did you have to get back healthy, but you had to get back football shape and all those things that
Mhm.
go into it too. When I guess over the last few weeks or last couple months did it all start to kind of click where not only were you confident you'd be back, but you're confident you are back and you are ready to be a playmaker. I mean, right off the bat.
I knew I was ready when I decided we was off. We was off, I think, for a week, and I was like, man, I'm gonna go try to put in some work at quarterback today. I was like, just try to work some stuff, try to break out on the scramble, just launching the ball down the field, just to see what I can do. And as I'm putting in the work, I'm tired and I'm running around. I'm just running around, like just doing random stuff. I'm just stopping to throw it. I'm looking, acting like I'm on the field, just looking. And I'm launching the ball down the field. And I'm like, dang, like I really can do it. Like I'm confident now. All I have to know is the plays. And I sent Coach Landry like the drills I was doing. And he was like, yeah, you ready. He was like, I could see it. You ready. I was like, Coach, I'm just worrying about the plays. He was like, don't worry about that. I got you on that. We're gonna rep that. We're gonna rep it. We're gonna keep repping it. And it's like everything I was practicing on, just my jukes taking off in case I needed to run and just throwing it. I got to practice. And it wasn't, at first I was like, dang, that ball was bad. It wasn't accurate. Or I didn't have a spin it. But Landry always kept me calm and made sure my confidence didn't go down. He always told me, how long I had you doing this? I was like, I ain't do it since I was 9. He was like, okay then, you good. He used to stay telling me that. So I just had to go in there relax. And as days go on, it's like it went from worse to better to better to better. And it's just like I'm comfortable in the system. And there's some things he add, harder stuff each day, but it's like I pick up on it now that I know what type of coach he is, just reps, reps, reps. Cause I get down on myself like you better than that. I know the type of person I am on the field. So, but he always tell me, man, you're not perfect. It's gonna be good. He always keep me up and let me know like you're gonna be straight. I'm gonna make sure you're gonna be straight, and you could just go out and play football. So all he ever told me, and that's what I've been doing. But I just felt confident. I know I'm a football player, so I was up for the challenge. I mean, versatile. I really like it, and he's managing my reps to make sure I don't overdo it and kill myself. But I really like it. The versatile.
You go over to a Como program now where there's obviously some proud history and tradition there, but it's been some
Yeah,
rough years for that program.
yeah. My cousin now in the league went over there, and I might be wearing his jersey, Malik. Yeah.
Yeah. Uh, um, eh, I mean, we can talk some more about some of that too. Just, I mean, the that family connection there. But we saw, a couple of years ago, it was a big story when Malik transferred out of Como and went over to the new school South Side, and it had been kind of like that for Como, where guys were headed from there to other places,
Right.
and it just has been a rough few years
Hmm.
for you to be a part of this program, this team now. What what would it mean for y'all to be a part of building the program back in that positive direction toward what we saw from them, a few years back? How much do y'all talk about the opportunity that's there to, okay, we know people have been kind of down on these last couple years, but we can kind of rewrite some of this a little bit if we can do what we think we can do.
I feel like I feel like that actually makes my teammates go harder as I explain to them, like, God, like, yo, we have a lot of doubters, and I kind of try to avoid it, like posting certain pictures on social media at the school, because I know a lot of people going to be asking questions and asking why are you going to that school, and it's like, I guess as they seen it, it made them more wanting to put the work in and wanting to change the program to show people like we actually been working and we can actually go somewhere. And it makes me proud to see how far they came and how much we competing in practice now. Like they told us 2 days ago, like, guys, they sent us a text. They was like, we've never been competing this much since Trey Harris and Malik. Coach sent out a text and told us that, and it's like, and coach, our wide receiver coach, he was like, man, one thing I could say about you, dog, you brung, like, you changed the program from when you first came. Like, you noticed how much like it was just dry. Nobody, you could tell people didn't want to be out, and it's like you brought that energy over, and it's like now it's transitioning to where it used to be, and it's gonna take time. It might not even be this season, but I feel it's gonna get there. Showing the younger boys how to, what to do when they come up as a younger cat. You have to show them the right way. I feel that's where it all starts at the scenes. Have to show them the right way, and don't worry about what the people saying, what the fans saying. It's all about just rebuilding at this point and getting to the playoffs and just going further and further and further, changing the program around. And everybody just got to be in on it, and we just got to have each other backs. Like we all we got. We can't listen to the outskirts and get caught up into that because we on the field. You know.
Whether you guys as a team or you as an individual young student athlete, what can y'all learn from watching the two guys that we just mentioned, Malik and Trey, who were so great there? Shoot, Malik got to LSU, and I thought he was going to come out the gates and be a difference maker as a freshman at LSU, but he had to deal with some injuries and go through some
Hmm.
of that adversity early on in his college career, and then it ends up being a top NFL draft pick, and people are looking at as a rookie of the year candidate and all those things. Trey is a guy that I think was had he was recruited out of high school, but it was a little bit slower for him, and he ends up going up to Louisiana Tech and has a great fit. Blows up there, is now at Ole Miss as one of the top wide receivers in the country. When y'all look at those success stories from guys that were in those same seats in those classes and same lockers and all those things just a few years ago, what can y'all learn from watching their journeys and just take in terms of inspiration or lessons or any of those things?
I just feel we could like we can learn a lot from them. Just to My main thing I feel is to really never give up on your dream, because like as I look at it and I be like, dang, it's crazy. Like, man, I go to the same school that he went to. I just feel like never give up on your dream, like, and always have faith in God. Like, always have faith in God, no matter what the situation is, because he can pull you out of any situation. I just felt like Malik and Trey were some guys that dominated and never got the big head, never worry about the outskirts. And I'm sure they went through a lot of adversity. When Malik played against Florida State, the adversity that he had to go against. I felt like he was a guy that just never really listened to that. Had to get off social media for a while, just get in your Bible or something. Just staying positive and keeping positive people around you who's gonna uplift you in them type of moments, because everybody is gonna be there for you when the moments are good, but you really see who's there for you when the moments are bad. And I just feel like it's really just about never giving up on your dreams, no matter where you go, because God can get you out of any situation, and just steady grinding, because they'll come find you. They'll come find you. They found Trey. I felt they'll come find you.
I feel like, anyone that watches this conversation is gonna have gained a really great perspective on not just who you are and what you feel like you can bring to the football field, but I mean to a program and to a team and a community and all those things as a young man, and the way that you've carried yourself through your own adversity to this point. But for a guy that is looking forward to his opportunity, not just to shine on Friday nights this fall, but for an opportunity on Saturdays at the next level, what do you want college coaches, college fans, whoever, to get a chance to know about who you are, and kind of what's your message to them as folks that we hope to see recruit you to that next opportunity?
I just want them to know that that I'm really a great young man on and off the field, and I just want to do great things and just make sure, taking care of the younger generation, and for the guys who didn't have the opportunities and stuff like that, going back home and just using using my success and just bringing it to the kids and the people who's still trying to come up, and who is younger than me, and was once in my shoes. And I just want them to know, like, that I'm a great person outside of football, and I'm a great young man outside of football, and I can bring way more to the table than just catching touchdowns. I can bring joy to where you might not remember me for what I did on the field, but you remember what I did when outside, when I helped your mom or something. Just a great young man, and you just be like, I remember him. It's just stuff like that, little things like that, that people might never forget, more than just catching the football.
No doubt. Well,
Yes,
Pop, man,
sir.
I appreciate your time for sure, and this was
For sure.
every
I
bit
appreciate you
as
too.
yeah, man. This was every bit as enjoyable of an opportunity to tell more folks your story as I knew it would be when we got a chance to connect for this.
Yes, sir.
Again, he's Carlos O'Brien Jr. We call him Pop. He's out there getting ready for his senior year at OC Como out there in Lafayette, and a guy that is still looking for a college home at the next level. So make sure to keep an eye on him on Friday nights this fall, and looking forward to seeing what his future holds beyond high school as well. For Louisiana versus all y'all, Jarrett Roser, thanks to everyone for tuning in and learning a little bit more about his story.
Yes, sir.